Where are my survivors on tonight? I need you to make some noise in here. Celebrate yourself. You deserve to be celebrated because you survived what was meant to destroy you. What your haters meant for evil, God meant for good, and you are here, so I need you to give yourself a round of applause. Yes, you deserve it. Some of you in here have persevered through the most difficult times of your life. And as time has passed, you made the positive changes necessary to move forward into better. And some of you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. And some of you are in here still trying to persevere through some difficult times. But I want to let you know that do not give up on you. Keep moving forward because it is going to get better. I'm here to tell you today that it's going to get better, that your eyes have not seen, nor have your ears heard, nor have it entered into your hearts, all the things that God has in store for you. But you have to keep moving forward. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said about moving forward that if you cannot fly, then run. If you cannot run, then walk. If you cannot walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. I came here to tell you today that you have what it takes to keep moving forward because you have favor to keep moving forward. I want to say that again. You have favor to keep moving forward. Well, what is favor? I'm glad you asked. Favor, according to Webster, is approval or support. In the field of theology, favor is another word for grace. It is divine favor, a supernatural strength that enables you to keep moving forward when all of the odds seem stacked against you. You have favor to keep moving forward because life has a way of throwing unexpected storms in our lives that we have to navigate our way through to try to pick up the broken pieces of our lives and put it back together again. I want to say that none of us in here are exempted from being recipients of unwanted storms. Storms caused by nature or figuratively speaking of storms. We all have experienced a turbulent storm season this year, from the East Coast to the West Coast. And God bless Florida right now. But we in Houston have experienced a series of unwanted storms, from tornadoes to wind and hail storms to thunderstorms to Hurricane Beryl that we went through, where we had to be inconvenienced. And some of us have gone for long extended periods without electricity, but we survived it. And sometimes, in order to regain normalcy after the storm, to move into better, we have to have insurance adjusters come out to make an assessment of what was damaged and lost in order to know how to fix what was damaged and lost. And sometimes letting go of damaged goods is not easy, because trying to fathom what once supported you in one season can have the potential to harm you in the next season. For instance, in 2017, when my Hurricane Harvey hit Houston, I was living in Dickinson, one of the worst hit areas. And I had to get rid of all my furniture on the lower half of my house. And it was hard for me to do this because I couldn't understand how something that once supported me when I sat on it had the potential to harm me, because a mold could tear down the respiratory system and make me sick. So letting go of it wasn't easy until I realized that the furniture was only one means of support, and that if I let go of that which had potential to make me sick, I could live healthy enough to work, save my money, and buy new furniture. So in other words, I could live without it so that I could live to replace it. C.S. Lewis, the great theologian, said about getting over a painful experience is much like crossing monkey bars. You have to let go at one point in order to move forward. I came here to tell you today that you have favor to move forward through the storms of life because you have been approved by your Creator. You survived because of the favor on your life. I already told you that favor is this supernatural strength that enables you to move from trauma to triumph, from gloom to glorious, from suppressed to survivor's this grace, this favor my whole life to weather the storms of life. I am a recipient of this divine favor. I would like to share with you my story of how my mother, my sisters, and I experienced this favor. I am the fourth daughter born to my mother out of the 5 daughters that she had. My earliest memories were of trauma, growing up in a home impacted by domestic violence. My biological father would abuse her on a daily basis, and we suffered all types of abuse at his hands. So my mother relied on this favor to leave her abusive father, only taking our 5 children and the clothing on our back to move forward in pursuit of better. I do have the full story in my novel, 11th Hour Chronicles, that's being raffled off. So for my mother, moving forward into better was getting herself and her 5 children out of the toxic environment. So, however, in my home of Springfield, Massachusetts, they did not have a wonderful organization such as Bay Area Turning Point where survivors could find refuge and resources to move into better. So, we initially stayed with my uncle and his wife and their 4 children in a 3-bedroom apartment. And although it was overcrowded and we were inconvenienced, it was more peaceful than living in a 4-bedroom home of the toxic environment we left. So, but my mother believed that if she had God and her 5 girls, that greater was a possibility. So, for my mother, my 4 sisters, and I, progressing forward seemed a little slow. It seemed more like crawling at points, but going back was not an option for my mother. And after that, we kept moving forward into better. We lived with other family members and then church members, then a welfare assigned motel, and then finally one day my mother's Section 8 came through and we all rejoiced because we were finally able to find a place of our own for more stability. I am here to tell you my testimony or survival of how someone like me went through being impacted by domestic violence, survived child abuse by my biological father, became a teenage mother at the age of 17 from looking for love in all the wrong places, survived an emotionally abusive marriage, survived divorce, survived a home invasion, and so many other things that were meant to destroy me. How can someone like me keep moving forward into better when all of the odds seem stacked against me? I am here to tell you today that it's my faith in the Lord Jesus Christ and Him giving me the divine favor to keep moving forward into better. And also my determination to make it, because I couldn't give up on myself, because that meant giving up on my child. And I had a son I had to take care of. So my determination to make it, He was the determining factor that kept me moving forward, one step at a time. Somebody say step by step. Step by step. I'm moving forward into better. So I have been in the hair and beauty industry for over 26 years and I still love it. 7 of those years I have been a business owner, a salon owner of 11th Hour Hair Lounge. I suggest that you find your passion, because when you find your passion, you'll never get tired of your profession. I am a published author of my novel, 11th Hour Chronicles. A recent first-time homeowner. 2 years ago, I bought my first home. A recent college graduate. This past May, I graduated with my bachelor's in theology. And I am currently a master's student in theology that I will be completing next summer. The Lord willing, y'all pray for me. It's a little rough. My son that I had at 17 years old and raised as a single mother is about to receive his doctoral degree in healthcare administration next fall. I come on, stand up for me. That's my son right there. Yes, he started his own business, Dash Wellness, and he got married 2 years ago and gave me a beautiful daughter and 3 grand puppies. I'm still waiting on human grandchildren. Hint. I'm not bragging or boasting, but I wanted to let you know that what you're going through is only temporary. There is hope after horror. There is joy after pain. There is promise after pain. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. It comes in the morning. All I can say is it's a favor of God on my life that allowed me to keep moving forward, and my determination to make it and to know that better has to come, that better is coming. Better days are ahead of you. I want to tell you that today. I also want to share my mother's testimony. My mother, who survived domestic violence, went back to college in her 60s and got her bachelor's degree in social work, and she is enjoying working and helping people in her later years. Stand up, mommy. She came all the way from Springfield, Massachusetts to come tonight. So she is a walking, living, breathing testimony that it does get better after experiencing domestic violence. However, these accomplishments took time over the years for me and my family. Many ups and downs, twists and turns, but God empowered me and my family to keep moving forward, step by step, one step at a time. So when you find yourself frustrated with the process, be patient with yourself and trust the process to progress. Yes, there is a process to progress. Progress is not always determined by how far the distance you run, but the direction you're running in. If you're running fast in the wrong direction, then progress is hindered. Slowly pedaling forward into a better future is far better than backpedaling fast into your past, for it won't be long before you crash. Likewise, forward motion after experiencing trauma could be overwhelming, and the fear of the unknown or what's coming next could try to paralyze your process. There will be moments where you have to just take a brief pause, stand still, and see the salvation of the Lord. But when you are favored to keep moving forward, going back is not an option. You may ask the question, how can I move forward when the trauma is so fresh and I'm still trying to pick up the broken pieces of my life? Well, I want to use acronyms of the word favor that are imperative in steps moving forward. First acronym in the word favor is forgiveness. Forgiveness is a must. Self-forgiveness. You must forgive yourself, not to assume guilt or responsibility for someone else's actions. But when you forgive yourself, you silence the negative voices that come from self-blaming. The past is already sealed, so living in the shadow of guilt and regret will make you want to self-sabotage anything good that comes your way, or talk you out of reaching for better because you feel unworthy. Feelings of unworthy from assuming false guilt from someone else's actions will keep you stuck in a proverbial prison, but self-forgiveness exonerates you. Not only does self-forgiveness liberates you, but forgiving others will too. Forgiving others is not easy, especially when the offense is so fresh. You may feel that the person or persons that hurt you are not deserving of your forgiveness, and you have every right to feel that way. But forgiveness is more beneficial for the offended rather than the offender. It's more beneficial for you that were hurt rather than those that hurt you. You have to realize that you liberate yourself through forgiveness. And don't get me wrong, I want to make this crystal clear that forgiving others does not mean allowing those persons back into your life that hurts you, but it releases you from the union of negative union of emotional negativity when you commit to unforgiveness. I had to forgive my father. I had to forgive my ex-husband so that I could take the power out of the pain, so that I could begin the process of healing. Yes, healing is a process. It takes time. It does not happen overnight. But time is an antidote to all pain, for it eventually heals all wounds. Likewise, forgiveness is a process. It doesn't happen overnight, but it releases you from the paralysis of unforgiveness to move forward into your destiny by reclaiming your power through forgiveness. And when you let go of the negativity of unforgiveness, you can come into alignment with yourself and the positive path of your future. So the next acronym in the word forgive is align. I had to align myself with something greater. For me, as a minister of the gospel, I had to align myself with Jesus Christ and the word of God. I could not depend on my mother's faith, but I had to have a personal relationship with God. Now that you have aligned yourself with Bay Area Turning Point that you could use as a continued resource beyond your stay here, you have to have alignment in your associations. If someone is trying to pull you in the opposite direction of your future and back into your past, you have to let go of that and realign yourself with positive people to encourage you to move forward into a better future. Some of you may have the support of your family to get you from point B to C. And I'm saying B to C because Bay Area Turning Point was point A. And some of you may not have family support, but I believe that God will send the right people in your life that will help support you, because family is not always defined by blood, but by love. Next acronym is visualize. You can now visualize who you want to be and where you want to be. Now that you surrounded yourself with positive people doing positive things. You can have the mental clarity to visualize how you want your life to be. You can now write the vision and make it plain. I suggest that you make a vision board, and if you've already done that, update it, because our desires change as we have mental clarity. Next acronym is organize, which means you have to prepare yourself for the vision. Whether it's going to a trade school, going to college, or various training programs to get the credentials and certification to become the best version of yourself that you could be, the version that you envision. And finally, the last acronym is reach. You have to reach to achieve your goal. Now it's within your grasp because you have positioned yourself. You can now achieve it. However, you cannot reach for it if you're holding on to past defeats. That is why step 1 and the acronym for favor, forgiveness, is so important, because you'll have to let go of some things in order to reach to achieve your dreams. I'm going to do a quick demonstration. I'm going to call Miss Brenda and Waukesha and my mother onto the stage, and I need 3 people from each table. I want you to do it too. I need 3 people to stand if you want to represent the past, present, and future version of you. And if you don't want to do it, you can just watch. I understand. Y'all age, I understand. 3 people from each table. So the future version of you is going to be standing about 4 feet in front of you. Okay. Future, you would be the present, turn, okay, one behind the other. Okay, one behind the other. So the present version of you, I need you, past version, to scoot up about a foot. Past version. And future about 4 feet ahead. There we go. 4 feet. A little farther. Okay. There we go. So 3 people standing, 1 person in front of the other. The past version of you is standing behind, a foot behind. And the present version of you, which is in the middle, and the future version is standing 4 feet ahead of you, the present. So I need the present version of you to reach behind you with your left hand and hold the right hand of the past version of you. Yeah, I'll give you time. We need one more. Is there one more back? There's my future. Come on, future. There we go.
Oh, she's going to be fast. Okay.
Okay, so you stand about 4 feet ahead. There we go. So, now with your right hand, try to reach the shoulder of the present version of you. Without moving though. No, future, don't reach. Just the present is reaching. Yes, there we go. So it's not so easy. There, it's not so easy while you are holding on to your past. It's impossible to do when you're holding on to your past. There we go. So as you're holding on to your past is gripping you because oftentimes our past will try to prevent us from reaching for our future. And it pulls us further away from our future. So right now, past version, gently pull your present a couple of steps behind. Gently pull, yes. So you can't do it while you're holding on to your past. So on the count of 3, we are going to let go of our past so that we can reach for our future version of ourselves. Are you ready? 1, forgetting those things which are behind you. 2, and reaching for the things before you. 3, let go, reach, and grasp your future. I press towards the mark of the prize of the high calling of God, which is in Christ Jesus. Remember, you have to keep moving forward. You can achieve your dreams because the best is yet in store for you. Your eyes have not seen, nor have your ears heard, nor have it entered into your hearts the things that are in store for you. Remember, you have to keep moving forward because you are favored. Thank you.